Well, today is Friday, and that means Toy Story 4 has officially hit theaters. It technically hit theaters last night, but I didn't get to go last night. So, we're talking about it today. So, my thoughts on Toy Story 4. I'm not even sure where to begin, but I'm going to start by saying that I love the Toy Story movies. They are some of my absolute favorites. I wasn't born when the first one came out. I was about 3 years later, but I was born just in time for Toy Story 2, and I had the VHS as a kid, and I watched it over and over and over again. And I was the perfect age when Toy Story 3 came out. And I took my toys to the theater with me, and I cried, and I thought it was over there. And then a few years ago, I heard that Toy Story 4 was coming out. And of course, I was excited, and I'm not saying that I'm not excited now, because going into the theater, I was pumped. I was so pumped for going to see this movie. And I didn't exactly feel the same when I walked out. Okay, so let me get into what I mean by that. I'm going to talk non-spoiler for the first half of this video, and then I'm going to get into some spoilers in the second half. I'll give a warning when I get to that point. But I'm not going to say anything spoilery until I make it very well known that I'm going to start saying spoilers. So, to start with, this movie begins in a way that was so perfect. The opening of this movie was exactly what I wanted it to be. And maybe that's my problem. Maybe that's the reason why I didn't enjoy the movie so much. But the opening, it was perfect. It was perfect. And I can't really get into it without spoiling it for you, because it's great. I don't want to ruin it for you. But they do recap like the first 3 movies really quickly. There's just like this one sweeping shot of Andy playing with his toys, and then it turns into Bonnie playing with her toys, and I teared up. I teared up immediately. I was already in tears, and I was ready for an amazing movie experience. And then the movie progressed, and it didn't get worse. It just got different. Now, at one point during the press tour for this movie, I remember that Tim Allen said that he considered this to be the Avengers of the Toy Story franchise. And that was an exciting thing for me to hear. Because when you say that it's the Avengers of your franchise, to me that sounds like everyone is coming together. And it's going to be this one big adventure, and it's just going to have all the feels, and everyone's going to be together, and you're going to get to see all your favorite characters back together again. And I was so disappointed when I found out that that was not what this movie is at all. If anything, this movie was like, let's take those characters that you love and let's show them to you. They're here, but we're going to put them over here. And over here is where you're going to stay at, and you're going to get to see all these new characters and new places, and occasionally we'll show you them, but most of the time we're going to show you these. And look, I understand why they're doing that, because we're moving the franchise forward. It's a new generation of children who are going to watch it. It's Ducky and Bunny are great characters. You've got Duke Kaboom, he's a great character. Forky, great character. And then you got Bo Peep, who I know that she's not necessarily a new person, but she's newer to the franchise because we haven't ever seen her. Even though we've seen her in the movies before, we've never seen her like this before. And to me, that would have worked if we could have incorporated more of the originals in with them. Okay, now let's talk about the fact that some of our favorite characters are not even a part of this movie. Potato Head, Mrs. Potato Head, Rex, Ham, Jessie, all of those original characters have such minimal plot points. And it's sad, because I'm a big fan of those original movies. And for me to see this one and to just see those characters that we've spent so much time growing and developing with, to just be sidelined, literally sat on the sidelines to watch the game happen in front of them, not even to be part of it. And then the characters that we do get, like Buzz. This movie is mainly about Woody and the new characters. And then we've got Buzz, and he comes along, but he almost feels like a parody of himself. He doesn't feel like the same Buzz Lightyear. How is this the same Buzz Lightyear that in Toy Story 2 did all this work to make sure that he could get back to Woody and to save Woody and come up with these great plans. And how do you go from that character to what we have in Toy Story 4, which is a guy who doesn't even understand that he has a conscience in his head? He just seemed dumb. And Buzz hasn't came off as dumb for 2 movies now, I don't think. I mean, he has his moments, but like this whole movie, he just kind of has the same running gag. And it's a little disheartening. It seems like they didn't really know what worked for Buzz. And this works. It's funny and it's enjoyable. But when you get to the ending, which I'm not going to spoil here, I'll talk about it later in the video, but when you get to the ending of the movie, it just does not feel like Buzz earns the ending. And I'm not going to talk about it anymore, but it doesn't feel earned. Okay, now the other characters I want to speak about, Bo Peep, amazing character. She's going to be great for little girls who are going to watch this movie and boys who are inspired by her, but it's going to be great for little girls because this is a male-centric franchise with Woody and Buzz. You know, Jessie's been there, but apparently, you know, Pixar's sidelining her, so Bo Peep is the new woman. And she's great. She's an amazing character. Strong, doesn't need people to come in and help save her. She's the one that's going and helping save people, and I think that's awesome. It's great. Now, if there were 2 characters that I would have wanted more of in this movie, it would be Ducky and Bunny. I think they were great characters, great additions to the Toy Story gang, and honestly, if I couldn't have gotten more of the original characters, I would have taken more of Ducky and Bunny. I could have watched them for days. They were great. Not so great was Duke Kaboom, who was a good character, don't get me wrong. He had his good jokes, he had his funny moments, but as a character, it was unnecessary. He was unnecessary, and I would have taken his part out and replaced him with Jessie, no question, easily. So the overall plot of this movie is interesting because it's not necessarily amazing by any means, but it's one of those things that if you go in with the expectation that this is going to be the Avengers movie of the Toy Story franchise, you're going to be disappointed. If you go in with the expectation that this is a new entry into a franchise that's over 20 years old and 4 movies deep, then you'll probably have a better reaction to it than I did. Because I went in with probably unrealistic expectations, and it's not that the movie is bad at all. It doesn't live up to the hype that you can create for yourself. And I know that people have experienced this before. I did this with Civil War, and did this with a few other movies, where I knew that this was just going to be the best movie I've ever seen. And that automatically sets you up to be disappointed. But at the same time, this movie does have places where even if I hadn't gone in with high expectations, I would have walked out disappointed at a few parts of the movie. Buzz's character, the lack of the original characters. I know I've spent a lot of time during this review saying negative things about the film, but if there is one place where I cannot fault this film at all, it is the animation. Pixar just continues to get better and better and better, and to go back and look at the models of these characters from Toy Story 1 in 1995, and to look at the models now, it is insane. It is like night and day. These characters have grown so much, not only in the story, but just the way that they look, the way that they move. These characters are so established in our minds, and it's just like, you can't help but to look at this movie and to just fall in love with it, honestly. The look of the film is outstanding. The opening shot is a flashback, which you've seen in trailers already before. They even released a clip of it, if I'm not mistaken. And that flashback makes me just wish, something like, I know that they probably never will do this, but it just makes me wish they would take the old movie and just redo those models and reanimate it and re-release it. Because I cannot imagine how beautiful it would look. These characters look so perfect in this new entry. This probably is the best animation I've ever seen Pixar do. And I don't say that about every movie, because I do know that every movie is beautiful that they've done, but this one, there's one shot in the rain, and you'll see it. It's as soon as the movie starts, basically. Everything in the rain. It's just outstanding. Okay, and lastly, before we get into spoilers, I want to talk about Forky. I think Forky was an amazing addition to this gang. I think that I was a little iffy at first. We all were. Whenever that first teaser came out and it was all the characters going around in the circle, and then Forky comes up and he just messes up the whole line. To me, that really gave me a vibe of like, oh, we're going really kiddish and it's going to be really, immature. But no, the way that Forky changed throughout the course of the story, going from just thinking that he was trash to wanting to throw himself away, and then becoming this honestly beautiful character. Oh, it was an amazing way to represent that every kid is different. Every kid's not Andy. Every kid's not going to be Andy. Andy loved Woody, and that's great. But Bonnie's not the same kid, and we have to understand that. She really, really loves this sport, and Forky doesn't necessarily get that, and he goes through this whole transformation through the movie where he just learns the importance of being a toy because Woody teaches him, and to me, that was an amazing part of the plot. I really, really enjoyed Forky, and if we're going to keep going with these Toy Story movies or these shorts that they're doing every year, I would love to see Forky make a comeback in one of them. Now, we're going to get into spoilers because I want to talk about the future of the Toy Story franchise based on how they decided to end this movie. So if you haven't seen the movie, I would suggest not watching anymore. But if you're someone who likes to have it spoiled, or if you're someone who's already seen the movie, then here we go. So the first thing I would like to discuss in the spoiler section is I really appreciated seeing Woody and Bo back together. I didn't really know if I wanted to see that, and I know that originally this was planned by John Lasseter. He said this was going to be a Bo Peep and Woody love story, and we were all kind of thinking like, well, is that necessary? Yes. Their chemistry is very, very good. Their relationship is phenomenal, and I would like to see more of it in the future, and I'm sure that I will based on how they ended this movie, which, well, I guess we'll just get into that here. At the end of the movie, Woody is getting ready to go back with his friends, Buzz and Jessie and the whole gang, and he's going to leave Bo Peep and Duke Kaboom and Ducky and Bunny behind because they don't have any interest in belonging to a child right now. Their interest is being together, being happy, being free in that carnival area. And throughout the movie, we don't see Bonnie play with Woody a lot. She mostly goes for Forky. She makes Jessie the sheriff. And there's a scene at the end of the movie where Woody's walking away from Bo Peep. And Buzz looks at him and he says, "She'll be okay." And I knew right there what they were going to do. And I'm not mad at Buzz's line. Buzz says, "No, Bonnie will be okay." And that was honestly, it was poetic. It was beautiful. But everyone in the audience is assuming that he's talking about Bo Peep because he's leaving her behind. And when you see that he's actually considering not going back with his original friends, with his original Toy Story gang, it's a little hard to watch, I have to admit. I don't know if it's something that's going to grow on me over time, but seeing Woody tell everyone goodbye was difficult. It was not easy. And I guess that he almost did in Toy Story 3, but he wasn't leaving them. He was being loyal to Andy. And I guess that's his lesson learned here, is that loyalty to a child is amazing, but it doesn't have to be everything, And I think he finally decided to choose his own happiness and stay with Bo Peep. And I do appreciate that. I do. I think that is a nice ending. But when you look at the moment that they're all leaving, and he walks up to Jessie and puts the badge on her, and he hugs Buzz, it's so difficult to see them parting from each other because they've spent all this time together. And I guess that is just the life of a toy that we haven't gotten to explore yet in these movies. I mean, we have, but not with our main characters. And it was painful, but I think over time I'll be able to accept it more than I can right now. Because right now it's just really hard for me to process the fact that Woody was okay with leaving Buzz and Jessie and Bullseye. And the lack of Bullseye in this movie, in Toy Story 3, he literally has a scene where Woody can hardly walk away because he sees the sadness on Bullseye's face. And in this one, it's like Bullseye was just non-existent. He was there and he looked sad, but he was not part of the conversation. And that's the kind of thing that makes this difficult, but I can see where the future is going for the franchise. And I'm not necessarily disappointed in the ending. I don't know if they're wanting to make more, but if they're going to do more of like the hour-long holiday specials, I can definitely see why they split the teams up. Because the setting where Woody is at now it's going to be able to lead to so many great stories. There are so many stories to tell in that area. And there's only so many stories that can be told in a child's room. So I get it from that standpoint. But it's really hard to watch Woody walk away from everything he's ever known. And it's hard to appreciate it when all you've wanted is to see them all be together and to have this great storyline of being happy, and it's a Toy Story movie and having fun, and I don't know. I think it's just going to take some time to register to me. But as of right now, it's still kind of just, it rubs me the wrong way a little bit. That's just me. That's how I feel. The other thing I want to talk about really quick before I end this video is Gabby Gabby. When I was going into the movie, I did not expect to like her. And the fact that at the end, she had one of the best B plots in the movie was amazing to me. The fact that she wanted to go over to the little girl and help her to feel better, it was weird at first because I was like, well, has she really earned that? But the more I thought about it, yeah, I do think that she earned that as a character, because we don't know her story fully, and we don't know how long she's been sitting in that shop, and all we know is that she's just been wanting to be played with. And that becomes the common theme in this movie, is that all these characters are happy to be living on their own in this antique shop. But then she is one who's like running everything, and she's not happy to be living on her own. And so what she is looking for is exactly what the others are running away from. And it was a nice contrast, and I did appreciate the ending, and I really liked that scene. Yeah, I think that's about everything I have to say about this movie right now. I don't necessarily think that this is one of my favorite Toy Story movies, because I hold the other ones at such a high standard that I would say this is not as good as the others, but I would say that it is not bad. It is not a bad movie. If I was given the chance to see this movie again right now, I would go. I would go, no question. It's just, I would go in with a different mindset. I would not go in with the same expectations that I went in with this time. And I know there have been some behind the scenes issues at Pixar lately, and I know that probably had an effect on the way this movie played out, considering it has been in development for who knows how long, but at least like 3 years. And I get that probably had a little bit of an impact on the final product. I just hope that going forward, if they're going to do anything else with these characters, the new characters are great, but you have such a solid lineup of the original characters. Don't put them all on the sideline. Let them have at least a few moments in the film where they get to shine. There are 2 hours in this movie, and there was plenty of chances to squeeze in a few of the original characters into these plots somewhere. I think that this should have been a full-on adventure movie. If you were going to have Woody leave the van and Buzz leave the van, then how come when Jessie leaves the van, she gets right back in? That was something that really bothered me. I just hope that going forward, if we're going to get more Toy Story, I don't want those original characters to be gone. Keep the new characters, but equally give us the old characters, you know? Don't just choose one over the other. Get an even mix of both. Yeah, that's my main issue. That was the main issue, is I wanted more of the characters that we've grown up to love. That's it. So yeah, Toy Story 4, it's out. Go get your tickets. Go see it now. I'm sure that it's going to be fine at the box office. Me saying some negative things about it is going to have no effect on it. So hopefully, if you have different opinions than me, I don't want you to be bothered by what I'm saying. It's just not what I pictured Toy Story 4 to be. in my mind, which is probably the problem. That's probably the problem, is that I had already created the movie in my mind, and I knew how I wanted it to go, and it did the opposite. Just go into this movie with the idea that this is a new ending, or a new beginning, depending on how you look at it, or how the future of this franchise is going. Yes, it's hard to see these characters part, but there's opportunity for good storytelling there. There's opportunity. I trust Pixar. I've always trusted Pixar, and I don't think they're gonna let me down. So I'm gonna hold out and see what else they've got up their sleeve. I know there's gonna be more Toy Story coming down the line. So leave your thoughts down below. If you've seen the movie, what did you think about it? I'm sure it's gonna blow the box office away. I think it's already got the second highest opening weekend for an animated film of all time. So it's gonna be fun. The movie's gonna be fun, and Pixar's gonna be fun. They've got 2 new movies already in development coming out next year, so they're great. Honestly, I'm glad that they're new stories, because these OG Pixar characters, they're very hard to do. That original Pixar team, there's nothing like them. So move on to new things. Create new characters, create new places for us to go, new stories to tell. That's the way to go for Pixar's future. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I hope you guys liked the video. I don't normally make videos, so this is a new thing for me. If it sucks, don't tell me it sucks. I will understand by the lack of views that it gets. So thank you guys for watching. If you want to see me do more of these things, comment below. Yeah, and I'll see you guys next time.